Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ms. Mamadou Barry would like to welcome you to our real estate show with financial well-being. Today is April the 23rd, 2020, and we are streaming live from New York City, trying to update you on what's going on in the real estate market. Tonight, this afternoon, we have invited some of the best in the industry, who is Shaun Sproul from Finance America. He's the manager of Finance America in the New York area. He's going to talk to us about mortgages and try to answer some questions on how, is it the right time to buy real estate right now, or what to do, or how to prepare yourself, because we know there's a lot of banks in the market right now that is changing the rules and regulations on how to obtain a mortgage, and I'm sure maybe soon a lot of banks will be out of business. But Mr. Shaun, with his institution, they're making things better for people during this difficult time, and he's going to come and talk to us about it and give us more information. And also, we're going to be joined by a gentleman also who is a very good expert in repairing credit. His name is Andy Shuku from Y2K Credit Solutions. He's going to join us to talk about credit and how to take care of your credit, how to maintain your credit, how to be pre-approved, how to increase your score. So Mr. Andy just joined the group.
Hey, Shaun!
Hey, welcome on board. We are streaming live right now.
I haven't seen this guy in a long time. I haven't seen you, Barry. How you been, man? How you guys doing?
Welcome to the show, man. We are now live.
Thank you for having me. First and foremost, hope you guys are safe, staying safe over there, practicing social distancing. Doing all we can do. Just to handle what we can and deal with this situation that we have going on. I hope all the audience are being safe out there as well.
Thank
you guys for having me. Shaun Sproul, how are you, sir?
Mr. Shuku, how are you?
I'm great. I heard so much about you. Finally getting to see you, man.
Oh man, I love your smile, guy. This is a beautiful thing. Yeah, good to meet you in person, Mr. Andy. I had so much.
Same here. We have to meet up one day. I heard so many great things about you.
That would be amazing.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, and I'm glad to see that energy. It means we're gonna deliver a lot of information to help our viewers. Give them more information to get to hunker down for this pandemic. So, Mr. Shaun, would like you to.
Can you guys give me 1 second? Let me just move. Close the window.
Yeah, go ahead, do your thing. Mr. Shaun, you have the mic.
Okay, so I guess we were doing a question and answer session. I thought, mortgages in the time of real estate now, a lot, there's a lot of misconceptions out there in the world that, there's nobody lending money and stuff like that, which is not the case. I'm constantly, still giving out mortgages all the time, pre-approval letters, et cetera, et cetera. Actually, I feel like I've been as busy or more busy than before, because everybody knows I'm in one solid place, and whatever, I guess they could catch me a little easier. But a lot of people are still calling, a lot of people are refinancing, they're taking out money to buy more houses, credits, I'm still doing credit scores into the 580s and above. So we're not missing a beat. There's still money being lent out there. Nothing's really changed. A lot of other banks have tightened their guidelines, which, we did a little bit of tightening, but I have a lot of investors that we do loans with that I could still go down to a 580 credit score all day long and, get people into homes. So I don't want anybody to be nervous or scared about what's going on with Corona, because there's nothing that's stopping anybody from buying. So that's really what I wanted to put out there to the masses, that you can still qualify. If you're currently laid off or furloughed or whatever you want to call it, we technically can't give you a loan until you go back to work. That's the only difference. But away from that, if you are what they call essential, or so I talk to a lot of clients, they're still getting paid from their job just to stay home, then you can still qualify for a mortgage.
Wow, thank you very much. That's giving us a lot of hope, because we know, it's a lot of changes out there. A lot of people are worried, they're scared, and one of the very good things also, we know the interest rate is very low right now. We're going to ask you about that a little bit later on. But what we have seen also, a lot of banks have step up their game. Like they want the restriction, they have more restrictions in trying to get loans now. Like for instance, I think Chase Bank is what they want to see in the neighborhood of 700 score. So that being said, Mr. Andy Shuku, I don't know if you are ready for us. We would like to hear from you to know how you can help people. We want you to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you will advise people in this type of situation to make sure they preserve their credit and keep it up.
Definitely. Thanks for having me first and foremost. Once again, my name is Andy Sproul. I'm the founder and CEO of Y2K Solutions. We're a debt settlement company and a credit restoration company. So, just like Shaun said, he's busy. We're extremely busy actually, and we find it more so that we're getting a lot of clients from the South, the Midwest, because of the market. Everyone's trying to get their credit resolved, all the issues resolved. Because once this is over, it's going to be a buyer's market, right? So everyone's trying to get their ducks in a row. And I have a lot of tips to talk to you guys about today with credit, what we need to do, how you need to maintain it. Some tips about your mortgage, your car payments, if you're in car payments, and you don't want to get late, because it's hard to remove those late payments, right? But there are things that was put into play by the banks and the mortgage companies that allow you to forgive 3 months of the payments of your for your loan, your auto loan, your car, some credit cards. So we'll talk about all that, how to maintain your credit, how to preserve it. But also, if you have some issues on your credit, now is the time to get it resolved. Take care of it, because once the market comes back up, I'm pretty sure things are going to change in the market with the mortgage industry. I'll talk about that. But credit's going to play a big factor in every financial decision that's played now and moving forward for the future, especially with the new scoring model, FICO 10 or FICO 10T that's coming out. Those two new scoring models are coming out at the end of the fourth quarter of 2020, and going to be effective for so.
Andy, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just got a message here. The mic, if you can get a little bit closer to the mic, it will help.
Can you hear me? Is it better?
Yes, it's better. Yeah. You remember, COVID time is very difficult to hear people right these days,
Gotcha. Okay, I apologize for that.
Yes.
But yeah, so I'll be talking about FICO 10T, and FICO 10 and 10T is more for the banks. It's not so much for the consumers. And it's protecting the banks from writing so many default loans, auto loans, credit cards, mortgages. So the scoring model is going to be much more tighter to get credit. The prime banks are going to require 700, 720 score to even, for you to look at you and give you a credit card. So those are things we'll talk about today. And of course, if you have any questions, I have no problem shining some light on that for you. Just please excuse me, I'm under the weather a little bit, so just letting you guys know that.
Oh, you say you're under the weather, my brother?
So under the weather a little bit. Not too good.
Yeah, keep it in. All right. So anyway, thank you very much for that.
Are you under the weather too, Shaun?
No, sir. I took my vitamin C today, baby. I took my vitamin C today.
Oh, yes. Man. Funny, I'm not consistent with that. I got to work on it, man. I'm not consistent. I'm too busy. I'm forgetting, but
Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you very much. I also want to let our viewers know this show is being streamed live on Facebook, on YouTube, and Instagram. If anyone has a comment, just go in and type on, or if you have a question, you can type in the comment. We'll get the question and give it to this professional directly. So, Mr. Shaun Sproul, going back to you.
Yes.
The banks, like Chase Bank, or many other banks, they require now more down payment, and they want to see higher credit score. What's the case with you with your institution?
And also, Barry, I want to ask Shaun a question about that as well when he's finished, because there's a lot of misconceptions, like you said, about what's going on, and I think there's some things that people need to know when it comes to the FHA section of that, right? Shaun, because I believe there's some changes there as well. No?
Okay. Yeah, sure. All right. Yeah, Shaun, go ahead. You have the mic.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly right, Andy. You know, you guys both hit it on the head. There's a lot of people, a lot of companies doing changes out there with loan scores, with debt to income ratio. So for us, again, I'm 580 and above, 580 for FHA. And our debt to income ratios are still going to what they used to be before, which is 56 DTI. So we're still lending money like before, but a lot of lenders that don't have deep pockets change their lending criteria because of them being scared of foreclosures and these forbearances and stuff like that. So they changed it because they don't want to be in a big mess later. So that's really what it is. But I go down to 580. Period. That's really what it is. So if you have a 580 above, you're good to go.
All right. Andy, I have another question for you. The people right now, like a lot of people hear this forbearance. You can wait till 90 days to pay your credit card bill, your car loan, and does that? We heard it's not going to be reported, but what would you advise people on that? Like later on, are they facing a challenge after it's all said and done, or what would you advise on that?
That's a good question. That's actually there's two answers to that question. Now, certain banks, they're allowing you. So first off, if the bank allows you, whether it be your auto loan, your car loan, or your credit card allows you to defer your payment with no interest and no negative credit reporting for 90 days, and they're allowing you to put it on the back end of your mortgage, not after 90 days, but at the end of your term of your loan, I suggest consumers do that, right? That's beneficial for them. But there are some banks that saying after 90 days, you have to have a balloon payment. That's an issue because if you can't make it now, you're not going to be able to make it in 90 days, and then they'll start working. They're going to come up with another program. They don't have a solution yet. What's going to happen after 90 days? But if your bank, and I suggest you call all your banks, your credit card companies, your auto insurance, they're all offering assistance due to COVID-19. Again, but only if they're allowing you to put it on the back end of your term, not after 90 days. They're looking for a balloon payment. I wouldn't suggest you do it. If you can make the payments, make it. If you can, if you have credit cards that you were making, let's say you were making your monthly minimum payment was $50, but you were paying $100 or $200 more so. For now, if you can't, just make the minimum just so you can avoid that negative reporting because it's really hard. Even though some banks are, allowing, they're not reporting negatives, still make the minimum payment if you can. But for all your banks, your auto loans, your mortgage companies, and ask them if they allow you. And most banks are doing it because, it's worldwide, it's nationwide. I mean, it's all over the country. Everyone's been affected. So they're trying to offer some assistance, but only if they're allowed to put it on the back end of the loan with no negative credit reporting and no interest rate change, then you do it. But if they are saying, no, you have to pay the 90 days, then, you got to reconsider, trying to make the payments. But if you do the balloon, that's a lot of money you have to pay out after 90 days. But again, I'm pretty sure they're going to change the guidelines again once the 90 days is up because a lot of people are not working right now, right?
Yeah. So thank you for that. Shaun, another question for you. The community I serve is mostly self-employed people. They have their own businesses, either a taxi driver or grocery or stuff like that, right? Now, you said the only condition you have, they have to prove that they're working. During this time, we know the work is not going to be the same as it used to be before the pandemic, right? How do you prove? What would you be looking for if you helping a self-employed person? What would you be looking for?
Well, Mr. Barrett, we had numerous meetings about those people who are self-employed and stuff like that. That I have those exotic. I use the word exotic type of loans because not everybody does it. A very small group of people actually do these type of loans. Those loans are on pause right now because of the corona. Nobody's really lending to no income check and stuff like that. Those things are on pause until after the pandemic is over. So I'm only dealing with borrowers, and this is the whole country, so it doesn't matter where you go to. I'm only dealing with borrowers that have a job and show income, real income, W-2 income, or they're filing their taxes and stuff like that. So to answer your question, if you are self-employed and you're showing income and you're doing your taxes, then we just get a letter from your accountant or we'll call your job to verify that you're still there working. That's how we verify the income.
Okay. Andy,
Oh,
go
I have
ahead.
something I want to say, and just going back to a lot of clients are calling me and asking if they can get credit line increases on their credit card because some people are using their credit cards to live off of it. Banks are giving credit line increases, but there's a couple criteria. If you have a high balance credit card, so let's say I'm going to give an example. If you say, let's say your credit limit was $5,000, and your limit is 5,000, your balance is like $4,500. They're not going to extend credit limit to you because you're high risk already, and you've had that balance for quite some time. You put yourself in a high risk. So the bank's not going to extend the credit. If you have a credit card from Chase or Discover, and let's say the limit is 5,000 and you owe $1,000, and they'll give you a credit line increase. The point is you have to have a low DTI for the bank to consider giving you, because they're not going to want to give you more money when you're already maxed out. Because how are you going to pay it back if you're going to pay off? So a lot of times they can ask me, are banks giving credit line increases? Are they approving credit? Yes, they are approving credit cards, and they are doing credit line increases. But for the credit cards, most of the prime banks, and I say prime, I talk about Chase City, Chase Simplicity, Discover, Barclays, Amex, these banks, they're looking for the 2730 score to extend the credit card to you, but they're also looking for the utilization of the 30% to do credit line increases. That's something I wanted to let you guys know because a lot of clients are asking me that.
Okay, another question for you. If someone, because we know is like the whole system is suspended, whereas creditors are not allowed to report late fees, right?
Correct. So for 90 days, and all banks, for the most part,
if they do it by mistake, if they should do it by mistake, how would you have them fix it?
So if you notice that on your credit report, and that's a good question, and I have two answers for that. For one, consumers should be monitoring their credit every other day or every week, every month while this is going on, because one, there's a lot of fraud going on. There's a lot of people setting up websites and saying they're selling essential things like sanitizers on their website because you can't get it from Amazon or other sites that you purchase at the grocery stores. You can't get it, so they're setting up these websites. They're saying they're selling things like this, masks, essential things that we need, but they actually don't have it. It's a fake website. They're capturing your credit card information, and they're using your cards and duplicating it and so forth. So you want to be checking your credit maybe once a week just to make sure everything is on up and up with it. Also, I have a link, Score Navigator, which is a link for Y2K where you can monitor your credit all years real time. But to answer your question, if you see something on your credit report, but you got to make sure that you notify the bank that you are in a hardship, right? Because they don't know. They think you're working, you're still paying your bills. You have to make sure you notify them. But once you notify them and you do see something reported on your credit report that's negative, call them. Let them know that you already notified them that this was due to COVID. You're not able to make the payments, and they agree to suspend the payments for 3 months. So when you speak to them, make sure you get like the person's name, their ID number if you can. Just have reference that you spoke to someone, the date and time. Just have some reference that you spoke to someone. So that if you see an issue and you do call the bank, you can say, I spoke to this person on such and such date, and I spoke about the issue, and they said there would be no negative reporting. They'll adjust it right away. But don't wait till 4 or 5 months after the peak of this is over then to call. It's going to be hard to prove the case.
Okay. All right. Shaun, Mr.
Yeah.
Loan Doctor. I'm sorry, man. I didn't refer by your nickname, the Loan Doctor.
Mr. Loan Doctor. I like that, Mr. Loan Doctor.
You know why? Because
something. I'm glad you're happy with that, Mr. Andy. I'm glad you're proud.
I like that.
Listen, the reason he's a doctor, you call him the Loan Doctor, because situations like this he get us through. You know what I mean? I have another question for you, man. One of the biggest problems we have with the banks right now to obtain a mortgage for the client is appraisal. A lot of appraisals want to go in, and a lot of properties are occupied. I just heard actually a statement today from the mayor saying that if they see non-essential activity going on, to call 311 and report. So that can people appraisal is not essential, right?
Oh, yeah. No. Appraisals are essential. It's part of the banking system. So, okay. Well, I'm essential. You see me, I'm working from home right now, but technically I'm essential. I could be in my office working, whatever. I just choose not to. My office is kind of shut down, but I have everything I need to work from home. But banking is essential. And at the same time, appraisers are essential. So to answer your question, and I know you were on my Zoom yesterday, my appraisers are still working. They're still going into houses. Okay. But a lot of my new loans, if you're buying a home, we're doing them as drive-by appraisals. So they don't need to go in your house. But that is all depending on what bank you're working with. Some banks don't have those capabilities like I do. So to steer you in the right direction, yes, there's still mortgages going, there's still appraisals going on. If you're doing a refinance, depending on who the current owner of your mortgage is, I could also do a drive-by appraisal for them as well. So either way, you're getting your deal done. You're not missing a beat with me.
Okay. All right. Let me give you a question right now coming from the audience. This is for you, Shaun.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
I like this. Baba Gali.
Yeah, Baba Gali Barry.
Why don't I know? Well, I feel like I know this guy.
Yeah, you know everybody, but all the names are similar. Mamadou's, Papadou's, and everything.
Oh, I know. Yallows.
Anyway, Baba Gali is a very good friend. He purchased his property a while back.
I think I did the loan.
He have a 3-family house in the Bronx. You want to know? Yeah. So he wanted me to answer this question. When is the right time to? Is it the right time to refinance your property? What is the positive and negative part of it?
So when is the right time? The right time is now. Rates are low. Market's still good. So the right time is now. I don't see any negatives. You would have to, every deal is different. So for me, I would look at your personal situation and see what you qualify for and if it makes sense to touch a mortgage. I have some people that are calling me now. Rates, I'm quoting rates in the high 2s, so low 3s. So if you call me and your rate is 3.75, the cost that it takes to refinance might not make sense. So I tell people, I'm very honest with them. I say, listen, for you to save a 0.5 point on the rate doesn't make sense. For that, just make extra money towards your payment and lower the time it's going to take to pay off your mortgage. But if you come to me and you have a 4.5, now that's a different story. Now I'm going to save you $300, $400 a month on your payment. That makes sense. Or if you have enough equity in the home and you need to take cash out, that makes sense too. So there's no real negatives. It's just what makes sense for your individual situation.
Okay. Quick question. What is the market rate right now for someone who has a good credit?
Like I just said, I'm quoting people in the high 2s, low 3s on the FHA, but it all depends on credit score. Not everybody's the same.
Okay.
So
between
I can just give you an overview of somebody with great credit. If you have worse credit, the rate's going to be higher. That's really what it comes down to. But Mr. Andy will help out on that credit end as well anyway, so you don't miss a beat with any of us on your team, Mr.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. So anyway,
one thing I want to add to that, Barry, one thing I want to add to that statement what Shaun said is that if you're going to do a refi now and the interest rates are so low and you're doing it with Shaun, and whoever you're doing it with, hopefully using Shaun. Shaun has a great team behind him, and first off, we're comfortable with each other. The comments we make to each other, Shaun and I and Barry's been working together for almost 10 years. So, we have a great synergy going for years. And, consider if you're going to do a refi, you're going to do an interest rate lower rate. You want to do a cash out as well, hold on to the money because once the market comes back up, it's going to be a buyer's market. You can buy an investment property and, start building your portfolio for generational wealth that way. So, try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And Shaun, maybe you can touch on that a little bit too. Let the audience know, so something good that.
No problem. I have a question here for you coming from Hadja Derek Ba. She has a question. The second one is for Shaun, but I want you to answer this question.
You want me to answer it, Shaun?
No, that's a question for you, Andy. If you look at the screen, it's a question for you, but I already know the answer to the question.
The question is for Mr. Andy. I pay all my credit cards on time, but my credit is still low as 611. So she's paying.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Can you see it on your screen, though?
That's your question, Ms. Sandy. I pay all my credit cards on time, but my credit score is still. So one, there's a couple questions I have to ask you about that. One, where are you looking at your credit score? Because you're using Credit Karma or the ones from your credit card companies. Those are not real time accurate because it's a soft pull. So one, my question to you is, where are you viewing your score at? Two, do you have any negatives on your credit report along with positives? So I need to know that to answer your question. And three, what kind of credit cards do you have? And fourth question to that is, if you pay your balances this month, are you using the card right away? Because there's a difference. Let me explain that. Let's say you paid your credit cards today, April 23rd. Tomorrow shows on your credit card bill that you have a zero balance. You go use your card again, but they didn't reflect on the credit bureau side. It takes 30 days, one billing cycle to update on the credit bureau side. So now you paid your card today. You think, okay, it's going to update on the credit bureau. Your score is going to change. You go swipe your card again. By the time the first update goes to the credit bureau, you have another balance on your credit card. So it's not, you're not giving it enough time for it to update on the credit bureau side. So there's a few questions I would have to ask you and I need answers to, or I can schedule a consultation, pull your report, and give you a real-time consultation.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to
answer. A consultation with Andy. This way you can talk individually.
Okay. So we have
what's on your credit report.
Okay, that was her first question. She has a question for you, Shaun. This is the question. My second question is, okay, I'll let you read that.
For a second-time homeowner, is there any way to buy less than 20% down? Absolutely. If you're buying your second home, okay, I want to make this clear to everybody. If you're buying a second home, is normally considered a vacation home. So you're not going to live in Queens and buy your second home in Brooklyn. Doesn't work like that, okay? So second home is normally somewhere in a vacation type of area. Like if you live in Queens, you're buying a house in the Hamptons. That's a different type of story. You're buying something in Miami on the water, something like that. That's what it is. So that's what considered a second home. And if you're doing a real true second home, then you can buy that with 10% down. If you're buying another home and you think you're going to use it as an investment property and you're just trying to call it a second home, that's not going to work. So I hope that answers the question. But if you're buying another home as a second home, as a vacation type of thing, absolutely you could do it with 10% down. If not, you would have to do it. You would have to be considered an investment property or a new primary residence. If that makes sense to move from one house to the other, then you can even take advantage of doing a loan at 5% down for a new primary home.
Okay. Now that being said, thank you for responding to that question. That being said, we have a spot in Long Island, where it's a very nice area, very welcoming for our community. My community, I gave you hundreds of them, and this is in Suffolk, very nice. There's a lot of vacation areas in that area. So that area, I assume.
What's the area, Mr. Barry?
It's in Suffolk, man, Mastic.
That's not a vacation home.
Huh?
That's not vacation.
You have Mastic Beach right there, my friend.
I hear you, but that's not vacation area.
Well, that's a vacation. Mastic.
Are you saying Mastic is not a vacation area, or the home is not going to be a vacation home?
Mastic or Mastic Beach is not vacation area.
But you have Mastic Beach. It's a big, and let me tell you something. Well, for someone who's coming,
oh my gosh,
vacation place, because you have one of the biggest.
More investment area, but we could try to sell it. Oh my god!
Yeah, we have to sell it. So the same lady was asking, Andy was telling you that she's using Credit Karma to pull her credit.
Gotcha. Credit Karma is not accurate. It's not real time, and it's 60 points behind with scores. On top of that, it only shows you Equifax and TransUnion. You need all three bureaus. And here's the thing, and a lot of people get confused with that with Credit Karma. Unless you're getting an inquiry on your credit, that's when you're getting real-time data on what your real scores are. And unless you're paying for a subscription like Credit Check Total or Score Navigator, that's when you're going to see real-time data. These free sites are not accurate because they're soft pull, and it's an image of what they're reporting to the bureau for you. So do not go by Credit Karma at all. And I've said it multiple times. I did videos on the Y2K Credit YouTube channel about breaking it down for you. Definitely please check that out. There's a lot of content on those YouTube channels.
I just got a text message here on my phone asking if they use Credit Karma for credit, will that affect like the same applications the banks has where you can go on your bank app and check your credit? Will that affect credit score?
Say the question one more time.
Like Credit Karma, something similar to that. The banks have apps where you can check your
credit card company have their own, like Credit Wise with Capital One and so forth. No, those are all soft pulls.
Will that affect your credit at all?
No, that's all soft pulls. End of the day, that's just a marketing tool every bank is offering to help consumers see their credit. One bank does it, every other bank is going to do it too. But again, it's a soft pull. It's not real time. So when you get an inquiry, that's why when I pull your credit or Shaun pull your credit, we can never go really by what consumers think. You always have to pull it to see exactly what's really going on, and that's when the can of worms open, or whatever needs to be done.
All right. Thank you for that.
It's just a guidance. Those sites are just guidance to let you know if anyone pulls your credit doing fraud on your credit. So they give you inquiries right away.
Okay. Now, Mr. Shaun, the loan doctor, the big question we have today, what would you advise in terms of real estate? Is it a good time to buy? Do you advise people to look into real estate and buy right now?
All right. So I'm gonna give you a couple different answers here. Everybody knows it's called supply and demand. So right now, nobody's really buying because everybody's scared of Corona. There are some people still buying, but not a lot. So if you can qualify now, it's the best time to buy because a lot of offers are not coming in on these properties like before. And depending on how long this thing lasts, going into the summer months or whatever for the next month or two, any house in the market, they're going to pretty much take your offer pretty seriously because there's not a lot of competition. So my answer to your question is absolutely this is a great time to buy. And because rates are still super, like the lowest it's ever been, this is absolutely the right time to buy. So take advantage of it because when we get out of this, rates are going to go back up and you're going to miss the boat. So this is the perfect time to get on board, get pre-qualified if you haven't already, and get seeing these homes virtually or whatever the case may be. I know, Mr. Barry, you're out there hustling and still doing your thing and showing houses. So either way, you're in a good place to buy now.
And I'll touch on that too. And even if you're not in the position to buy right now, get all your priorities and your ducks in a row. So when the market does open back up, you're able to get in there because, like Shaun says, it's also a wild card because a lot of people are going to be, making offers. They'll be accepted. They won't have a lot of time to negotiate. So make sure you have your credit intact, your down payment, your tax returns, your W-2s. Get with Shaun, let him get you prepared. So, start mentally and physically getting yourself ready if you're not in a position to do it now.
Now, that being said, I'll let you continue there. What do you advise people? Let's say for someone who don't have the money right now to buy, but they want to buy in 2 months, 3 months later. This is a very tough time. They're not able to pay a lot of bills. What is quick summary you will advise them on how to preserve the credit, like in few words?
I mean, with the credit, if you have good credit currently, definitely reach out to your banks and your mortgage company, like I said earlier. Let them know that you're affected by COVID, and to be honest with you, even if you're working part-time, still let them know. You take advantage of it, so you try to save up some money. But also, if they don't allow you to defer the payments, make sure you're making the minimum payments on your cards. Here's the thing: some banks are letting you. Let's say the payment is due this month and you can't make it, but they're letting you make it the next month. They're not going to report you late. I'd rather you do that than not make the payment at all because they're not going to report you late on your credit report, so you'll be okay. So I'd rather you make the minimum and just don't make any payments at all. Like, that's not good. So you want to at least make the minimum to keep your credit intact. Keep your balances low. If you don't need to use your credit cards and you don't need to live off them, try to keep the balance under 30%, because basically it's a basic concept. Low debt score, high debt, low score. So keep all that intact. And if your credit is not up to par right now and there's some issues and some stains on there, reach out to us. My contact information is on the bottom here. Sure, Barry will put it up as well. Schedule a consultation and start working at it. So when this pandemic is over, you can still go into the market and first bids on good deals.
All right. So I wanted you to say your final word. We are out of time here. Thank you very much for the input, and we truly appreciate it. please give us a final word and let us know how people will be able to contact you.
Sure, definitely. You know, my phone number is 516-568-4541.
I can, if I have it again, can you repeat it again? 516?
568-4541. We are working on a limited schedule because due to access to the building, but we're open from 9 to 4, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Give us a call, schedule a consultation. We offer Zoom consultations, Skype consultations now. And we have social media, Instagram, Y2K _Credit Solutions. Definitely check us out on that. Our YouTube channel.
The website on there, it's Y2K _ Credit Solutions.
Correct, correct.
No, the website?
No, that's the Instagram.
Okay.
Website, www.y2kcreditsolutions.com. I highly
Solutions
suggest
with an S or?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Solution with an S or just the N? Because he has it here.
Y2K Credit Solutions with an S.com.
With an S. There you go. I want to make sure it's correct.
I'm sorry.
And also, definitely check out the blog page on the website. I have tons of content up there for you guys. And also, check out my videos on YouTube at Y2K Credit Solutions with an S. A lot of videos, a lot of content on there as well for you, and how to maintain your credit, how to keep it intact. You know, don't go applying for a lot of credit if you don't need to. Keep the increase low. And you know, always remember this: consumers are allowed 6 increase in the 12-month calendar year. Anything more than that's abuse of credit, and you lose points for it. So you know, just look at the videos, and all that stuff is on the video as well. I speak about all that stuff.
All right, thank you very much, Andy. We appreciate you, and we're going to have you back soon again. You know, because we need to update people, tell people what's going on. Mr. Shaun, you have the mic for your final word, and let us know how we can reach you.
Oh, good. Okay, so my my Instagram is Mr. Loan Doctor. So it's at Mr. Loan Doctor. You can catch me on Instagram. My phone number is 347-866-3423. And
what's that number again?
347-866-3423.
Okay.
And my website is foaymortgage.com/SSPROUL, Sproul.
Okay. All right.
Mortgage.com/SSPROUL.
Okay. All right. So maybe the number here will help.
Yep.
Mr. Loan Doc.
With the Instagram at Mr. Loan Doctor spelled out.
Okay. All right. No problem. And that's it, right?
Yep.
Mr. Loan Doctor. All right.
Doctor. T-O-R.
Doctor. Okay, doctor. Got you, brother. Hey, thank you very much for your time. I truly appreciate you guys. And I'll be reaching out to you guys soon. And hopefully we're gonna have more information for the listeners and the viewers.
Take care, guys.
All right.